I'll give you a choice. You decide which one you prefer. Ready? Do you prefer that I give you the shiny penny that I will double every day for a month? Think about that for a moment. So on day 1, I'll take that penny and I'll give you 2 pennies. The second day, I'll take those 2 pennies and I'll give you 4. The next day, I'll take those 4 pennies and give you 8. By day 3, you'll have 8 pennies. Day 4, how many are you going to have on day 4? 8 doubled becomes, you've got it, 16. So which do you prefer? Do you prefer the penny doubled every day for a month? Or are you sitting down for this one? Do you prefer the check for $1 million? Which do you prefer? The penny doubled every day for a month? Or the check for $1 million? What do you say? Well, if you choose the check for $1 million, presuming there are funds in the bank account to cover that check, then at the end of the month you'll have $1 million. Should we say it together? Woohoo! $1 million. If you choose the penny doubled every day for a month, how much will you have at the end of the month? $3 million. Ooh. Go home and try that math. A penny doubled every day for a month becomes more than $3 million. That's the power of multiplication. Ooh. Brothers and sisters, in today's scriptures we have stories of multiplication. Did you hear today's first reading from the second book of Kings? Elisha the prophet receives 20 barley loaves and is able to feed 100 people. 20 loaves, 100 people, not bad. Did you hear today's gospel? Talking about multiplication. It's one of those few miracles that's repeated in all 4 gospels. There are how many people there? 5,000 men, not counting women and children. I apologize. An androcentric, male-centered, patriarchal world. Hate it too. 5,000 men, not counting women and children. That was a lot of people. And how much did they have to feed those people with? You guessed it. 5 loaves. Count them. 5 loaves. And 2 fish. Help me out now. Are you going to be able to feed 5,000 men plus the women and the children with 5 loaves and 2 fish? I suspect that there are different ways that we can interpret today's gospel. One is that Jesus was a magician. And he just waved his hand over those 5 loaves and he said, okay, are you ready? Let's count together. 1, 2, 3. And it started popping like popcorn all over the place. Bread, bread, bread all over the place. Jesus the magician. I've never seen anything like that happen myself, which is why I tend to believe another interpretation, that maybe by pulling out that food, it encouraged all the other people to pull out the little bit of food that they brought in their bags and in their pockets. They were in the wilderness after all. You go into the wilderness without food or water, right? So maybe it was a miracle in having the people share what they had so that everyone ate their fill and there were still 12 wicker baskets of leftovers. Could you imagine for a moment if we were to share that generously of the things that we have? Maybe not the physical things, but take a look at today's second reading. It gives us 5 things that we could share with other people that we can't touch. Did you catch that? The first one is humility. Should we take a look at today's first reading? The first one is humility. Imagine this week if we were to share humility in the same way that I could share this bread. I am going to be humble and show others what humility looks like. Oh. The second one, gentleness. Isn't it true that there are times when we want to be less than gentle with a few people? Right? What if this week we were going to commit ourselves to being gentle? Or to being loving? Do you see that in today's scripture? Right? Love. I'm going to share love and nourish other people with my love. Or, are you sitting down for this one? You saw it. Patience. I'm going to nourish this world with my patience this week. There are times when I become impatient. Can you think of the times when you become impatient? What if this week, instead of becoming impatient during those moments, we were to take a deep breath and to nourish people with our patience? And finally, unity. Imagine for a moment if we were to multiply unity rather than division in this world. Because isn't that what the penny is all about? It's not about division. That's the wrong kind of math. What's the kind of math that Jesus practiced? Jesus didn't practice division. He practiced multiplication. Sisters, brothers, are we ready to get out of here and nourished by this word and nourished by the body and blood of Christ, by this bread? Are we ready to get out of here and multiply our humility and gentleness and love and patience and unity? That would be a real act of multiplication.